All right, first bell ringer. The probability of flipping a coin and it landing on heads. I mean, common sense here. Tristan.
50-50.
I got it.
Almost. I know where you're going with the concept of 50-50, but if I ask you for probability of just the heads, it would just be
50.
just 50. 50 what?
Percent.
There you go.
It's 51-49.
No, we're not getting into that. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. So 50, hey, you are being recorded. So let's not argue the whole 51-49 because the off chance of one side being slightly heavier than the other. We're not getting into that.
Nope.
Okay. 50% is what fraction in lowest form? Juju? 1/2. 1/2. And its decimal would be how much?
I don't know. 0.5.
0.5. When we get into probability next semester, we've got to be ready for percents, fractions, and decimals. Okay? The second bell ringer, we have a survey of 80 students, and 65% of the students prefer to have a kickball tournament. If there are 625 students in the school, about how many students want to have a kickball tournament? I have a question.
Yes.
If 65% of the sample wants to have the kickball tournament, what does that tell us about the entire population? What assumption can we make? Mary Lady?
Like that kickball is like more popular than other.
Little more specific based on this. If 65% of the sample wants a kickball tournament, what can we conclude about the population? Charlie?
Most people want to have a kickball tournament.
Getting there? Wesley?
65% of the people want to have a kickball tournament.
There you go. If 65% of the sample wants it, then 65% of the population wants it. Okay? It's going to save us some steps. So how would we figure out how many students are going to want that kickball tournament if there's 625 students? Micah?
Just find 65% of either one.
Well, I'm particularly focused on the population.
Okay, then 625.
Okay, so how would we find 65% of 625, Cannon? 0.65 times 625. And I am aware that we do get a decimal, and, you know, we have enough common sense that we don't have a partial amount of a person. So it does use the word about. So about how many people? Marley?
406.
About 406 would be a good answer. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you have to go to the bathroom. I don't have any tissue in here. Okay. The handout that I gave you has two sides. One side says adding and subtracting. The other side says just subtracting. I want you to be on the side that says just subtracting. Okay? Now, up to this point, we've been combining like terms. We've been doing distributive property. We've been doing distributive property and combining like terms. It's not really been a problem. We've been really good at it. This has been a really strong unit. Subtracting expressions, I want us to be a little careful of. Primarily because of our negative signs. That's going to be our biggest downfall. On the top of your paper, you should see this phrase, leave, add, opposite. And the words leave and opposite are both in parentheses, as they should be. What it's telling us and hinting at is that the first expression that's in parentheses, we're going to leave it alone. We're going to change the subtraction to addition. And then the second expression, the second set of parentheses, the different terms need to become their opposites. So it's just kind of a reminder. And we're only using this if there's a subtraction sign between the parentheses. So let's look at number one. In number one, there is a subtraction sign between the two sets of parentheses. And I do want you rewriting this. I'm going to be looking for that when we go to the board in a little bit. So the first set of parentheses, we're going to leave it alone. The minus will become a plus, but the second set of parentheses, the different terms are going to become their opposites. So we're going to leave 9r minus 5 and now have a plus sign. Creating the opposites, we've got two terms in here. We have a negative 4/3 and we have a plus 9, a positive 9. Okay? The one in blue, negative 4r. What is its opposite?
4R.
Okay, 4r. And then if I have a plus 9,
-9.
the opposite we can put as minus 9. We also want to avoid double signs. Okay, so if it's a plus 9, you put a minus 9. If it had been a minus 9, we would have put a plus 9. This is the point that we've been at for the past several weeks, combining like terms. What are the like terms in the problem?
9R and 4R.
Okay, we've got 9r and 4r. What else?
5,
No, negative 5 and negative 9. Okay. When we combine the like terms, what is the expression, Cannon?
You just want me to do one or both of them?
You can do both of them.
9r plus 4r in parentheses and then negative 5 minus 9.
Okay, what do you get?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, so you 9r and 4r is going to give you
Oh, 13.
13r.
Negative 5
Okay, negative 5 and negative 9 is negative 14. So that subtraction sign is the middle, in the middle is where we're going to be paying attention to. Let's look at the second one on our handout. If we check the middle, there is a subtraction sign. So we want to leave the first parentheses and then add the opposite of the next parentheses. We will leave 3b minus 4, change it to a plus, and pay attention to your terms. You have negative 5b and a plus 3. What's the opposite of negative 5b? Mary Liddy? Okay, a positive 5b. What is the opposite of the plus 3, Aaron? Instead of plus 3, we're going to put the minus 3. Okay? Where are the like terms? Where are our like terms? Chase.
3B and 5B.
Okay, 3b and 5b. What else?
Negative 4 and negative 3.
Very good. Negative 4 and negative 3. When we combine our terms together, what is our new expression? Black? 8b minus 7. Very good. All right, let's do one more. The minus sign in the middle. We want to leave the first, then add, and then opposite the second one. What are the two terms in the second set of parentheses? What's the first term? It is negative 6k. What's the second term? The negative 6 or the minus 6. All right. So what are we going to leave in the problem, Cannon? All right, the first set of parentheses, so negative 4k minus 1. And we're going to add to it the opposite of the next one. What is the opposite, Micah? 6k plus 6. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I was losing my voice.
Momentarily. Okay, we're ready to combine like terms. What is a set of like terms? Set of like terms. Okay, me? Jonah?
Oh. Negative 4K and 6K.
Very good. Negative 4K and 6K are like terms. What else is considered like terms in this?
A negative 1 and 6.
A negative 1 and 6. Good. Okay, we combine. And what's the final expression simplified?
2K plus 5.
That'd be correct. Abigail, what do you have as the simplified expression on this one? Okay, 2K plus 5 is correct. Very good. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this kind of stops the video, which is fine. We're going to be, and I'm just going to record this so the people on the thing who listen at home can catch this, one of these things. You guys are going to work on 4 through 10. And then we're going to randomly get people up there on the board to rewrite and simplify, all that stuff. If you get done with those before we start up there and you're like, I'm going to jump to the back, okay, that's fine. But here's the thing. If you look at the back of the paper real quick, it's adding and subtracting, okay? This rewrite of leave, add, opposite is only done if there's a subtraction sign in the middle of the parentheses.
You just subtract.
What do you notice about question 2 on the back of the paper? Cannon. It has a plus sign in the middle. A plus sign in the middle, you're going to leave everything and immediately combine like terms.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't have to rewrite anything. Okay? So right now, our focus is 4 through 10. We seem to move through these pretty quickly, so I'm going to keep an eye, and then we're going to go over this. Sound like a plan? Fabulous.